They also call on the government to allow more people inside churches. We now go above and beyond the headlines with Manila Apostolic Administrator Bishop Broderick Pabillo. Good evening, Bishop, and welcome to Newsnight. Let's begin with this po. No? Have you been? You have not yet put in a request for an increased capacity. Kasi po sa NCR, GCQ, 30% capacity. If it is MGCQ, 50%. Ang sabi po ni Justice Secretary Menado Guevara, there is as yet no formal request to the IATF. Also, Bishop, if you can respond to this. No, this was a response from Secretary Guevara himself, and I quote, he said, the question is public worship such an essential activity that we should freely allow it during the pandemic, subject to the usual health protocols? Some people will say yes, others will say no. Bishop?
First, we have not yet made any official request as Manila, as Archdiocese of Manila, because I think not at diocesan level, because it's something that is national. And as for the necessity of the religious services, we have heard, even from the government itself, that there are cases now of depression, suffering from mental illnesses. And we know that church services, religious services can help a lot to strengthen people spiritually, mentally, in front of what's happening around us. That's why I would say that religious services are important for us. And many people see this. That's why they go out of their way in order to attend religious services. And we have seen, even with the case of Quiapo, the case of Simbang Gabi, with the case of the Santo Niño, that there is also no surge of COVID infection because of the large gatherings of people, since there is proper protocol that is being followed, proper physical distancing that's being followed. So I think we, yes, promote the minimum health services, minimum health protocols that are needed, but having more people coming for the services will greatly help a lot.
So, Bishop, just to clarify, to make it very clear, the Archdiocese of Manila will not make that formal request to the IATF on its own. This is going to be a national effort. So, I suppose the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, and you will, all these arguments that you just brought up tonight, yun ang ilalagay po ninyo doon sa formal request sa IATF.
Yes, following the proper health protocols, we can, I think, have more people attend our own religious services, no, as shown by the fact that there is no great surge because of the great activities that we have. But I think it should be within the competence of the CBCP as a national body to make that request to another national body, the IATF.
Bishop, Ash Wednesday is coming up next week already. The Diocese of Caloocan, for example, distributing sachets of ash. What will the Archdiocese of Manila do? Or is this going to be also a national, will there be a policy on the national level for this?
We have just come up with a pastoral letter in the Archdiocese of Manila with prayers for the people to pray and put ashes on the members of their families. So we have prayers for the burning of old leaves in order to get the ashes, and then prayers for giving the ashes to the members of the family. So that's also another way. So okay, one way is to get the ashes from the churches. No, another way is to pray over together as a family and sprinkle the ashes within the family.
Okay, so to be safe, Bishop, what you're saying is para bang DIY, do-it-yourself Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, but with the proper guidance, the prayers are given to them. They're asked to join in the online services. And then at a certain time, then they pray together and put the ashes on those of the members of their families.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One more question, Bishop, about the pandemic, no, and the church participation. There's been talk about churches offering their places of worship as vaccination sites. No, has there been a formal offer made to the IATF? Have there been formal talks about this? And have church leaders come up with parameters for this?
We have our own dialogue with the mayor of Manila, for the Archdiocese of Manila, how to do that. And they have requested to us 7 areas and see if we have churches, schools around those areas where the vaccinations can take place. So we have already an understanding with the mayor of the city of Manila. Now, as for the other places, that there are different situations of the country. I think that would depend on the local situations. Maybe in some places, the local governments would not need to have other places because they have enough. But in some, they might need more. So I think this is something that can be done locally, with the local executives and the churches in the area.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, Bishop, just yesterday, over the weekend, nag-launch po ng, the opening for the 500 years of Christianity in the Philippines. And now the question is, how does the Catholic Church here in the Philippines intend to continue to be relevant beyond those 500 years? Pope Francis himself has sent out a message of that. Relevance is important because we are right smack in the middle of a pandemic, and we have we're moving into a very political tense situation by next year because of the elections.
It is an ongoing debate that we have to do within the church and with others because we cannot put any situation there now because things are developing so quickly. So we are continually making dialogue among us with others, try to see how we can serve the people during these times. For us, relevance means how we can serve the people better. Now, connect them with the Lord, connect them with each other, help them out in their needs during these times. So it is an ongoing process to have that kind of creative response to the situations now that we are having.
Bishop Broderick Pabillo of the Archdiocese of Manila Apostolic Administrator. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Bishop. Thank you very much for joining us.